Good morning, students. Today we are going to study about the next atomic property, that is the electronegativity. Now, students, what is electronegativity? It is the tendency of an atom, of an element, to pull the shared electron pair toward it in a covalent bond. Now, student, when a covalent bond is formed, it is formed between either two homoatomic elements or between the two heteroatomic atoms. Now, if it is formed between the two homoatomic elements or the elements, in that case, the both the atoms will have the same tendency to pull the electron pair toward itself, the shared electron pair toward itself. But if it is a heteroatomic molecule, in that case we are having two different atoms or two different atoms of two different elements. In that case, their tendency to pull the shared electron pair toward itself will depend upon their atomic size and will also depend upon their effective nuclear charge. Now, students, here the tendency of getting that shared electron pair toward one of the atoms, right, is known as the electronegativity. Right? So what is electronegativity? So it is the tendency of an atom to pull the shared electron pair toward it in a covalent bond. Now students, you know that the covalent bond, this based on your previous knowledge also, that a covalent bond, it is the bond formed by the sharing of the electrons between the two atoms, right? So if we have A and A, this is a molecule which consists of a two atoms of the same element. In that case, the covalent bond is formed between the two same type of atoms, right? So in that case, the shared electron pair, right, will not be, we can say, will not be attracted to only one atom, but it will be shared equally between the two. But student, if we take an example here, A dash B, or A bonded with B, here also this bond is formed between the two atoms, right, is a covalent bond. The sharing of electron has taken place, but you have to keep in mind that in this case, the shared electron pair will be always tilted more toward, or will be more toward the atom which will have the strong tendency to pull it, and that tendency will depend upon the nuclear charge of that atom as well as the size of atom, right? So AB, where it is a hetero molecule, in that case the shared electron pair of the covalent bond will be always tilted more, or will be under the influence of that element more, that atom more, which has got the stronger tendency to pull it, and that tendency will depend upon the size of the atom, and it will depend upon the effective nuclear charge, right? The atom which is more smaller, right, and its nuclear charge will be higher, the shared electron pair will be bended toward that element, right? Let it be A, which has got comparatively smaller size and greater magnitude of nuclear charge, right? In that case, the shared electron pair will be under the influence of a mode, right? So the electronegativity, it is a tendency to pull the electron, but it is not the electron. Here it is the shared pair of electron, right? So this statement, the tendency to pull the shared electron pair toward it, differentiate it from the term electron gain enthalpy. In electron gain enthalpy, students, we have only the tendency to pull the additional electron or the outside electron, right? But here it is the shared pair of electron, right? Now the next thing is that the if we with respect to the annihilation enthalpy and the electron gain enthalpy, right? They are all measurable quantity, but this is not a measurable quantity. Now the electron gain enthalpy and the annihilation enthalpy, right? They have got the absolute value in kilojoule per mole. They have got the, we can say, a fixed value in the kilojoule per mole. Here electronegativity doesn't have any unit, right? As well as it is a relative quantity. That means that we are not going to assign a fixed value of electronegativity to the element A. It will always depend upon the other element, other atom to which it is being bonded, right? So we will just discuss an example of it, that A and B. Now here, if A, right, is having greater electronegativity than B, it will not be so that in any other compound, right, it will be also having the higher electronegativity, right? For example, if we take carbon and hydrogen, a simple example I am taking here, a carbon and hydrogen, let a bond is being formed between, covalent bond formed between C and H. Now if we compare the two, definitely here the carbon, okay, now let's take the example first of homoatomic here. So here if we have C dash C bond, right? Here they are the homoatomic and the shared electron pair will be equally shared between the two and it will be at a mean position, right? Now if we take if we have an example compound which has been formed between C dash Cl, now here student, definitely the Cl is comparatively more smaller in size than the carbon, right? So here the shared electron pair will be tilted more toward the, right, will be tilted more toward the or bended more toward the halogen, that is chlorine atom, which is comparatively smaller and having greater nuclear charge, right? Now if we take example of O dash H, in this case, right, definitely oxygen is going to be more electronegative, right? But if we come to the case where oxygen and chlorine are having a bond, right? Shared a covalent bond is formed between them. So it will not be so that here it is more electronegative, is comparatively more electronegative than hydrogen. So it will not be so that again the oxygen is more electronegative. In this case, the chlorine atom is more electronegative than the oxygen atom. So shared electron pair will be bended more toward the chlorine atom. So what I want to tell you here is that the electronegativity, it is a relative term, right? So the electronegativity compared to the ionization enthalpy and the electron gain enthalpy, it has got the relative values, not our absolute values. Right, students? Now, the electronegativity of any element can be determined, right, with the many scales were given, like Millikan scale, Pauling scale, but the Pauling scale is being widely accepted, right, and on that basis, the fluorine element has got a arbitrarily fixed value of 4, and fluorine is the most electronegative element in the periodic table, right? Now students, here we are going to see the Pauling scale formula for determining the electronegativity of the element A and B. Now here the symbol here I'm going to, which appears to be like that of the as the X, but I'm going to pronounce it as key. Now this key A minus key B, this is the electronegativity difference between the element A and B, which is equal to 0.1017 under root delta. Now this delta, right, if we know the value of delta, we can find out the electronegativity difference between the two elements, and the delta is equal to the bond dissociation enthalpy of A and B bond minus under root the product of the bond dissociation enthalpy of the bond A and A and that of the bond between B2B atoms, right? That means we can say there's a difference between the bond dissociation enthalpy of a heteroatomic molecule and the under root of the product of the bond dissociation enthalpy of the homoatomic molecule, right? Now here EAB denotes bond dissociation enthalpy of A and B bond. A and A denotes the bond dissociation enthalpy of AA, and the bond dissociation enthalpy of B and B bond is denoted by EBB, right? EB dash B. And students, this bond dissociation enthalpy, it will be expressed in kilojoule per mole, right? So we will, by knowing the electronegativity value of a element of one other element, the electronegativity value of the other element can be determined, right? Now next we are going to discuss about the factors on which the electronegativity is going to depend. Now students, the electronegativity is going to depend upon the two factors. The first factor, we can say here, factors on which electronegativity depends. Now students, is going to depend upon two factors. First one is the atomic size, and second factor is the first factor is the atomic size, and the second factor is the effective nuclear charge. So the atomic size, smaller the atomic size, greater will be its tendency to pull the shared electron pair toward it. So here the atomic size, smaller the atomic size, greater will be tendency to pull the shared electron pair, right? Second factor is the effective nuclear charge. Now students, if the nuclear charge will be higher in magnitude, then more strongly the shared electron pair will be pulled toward the that particular atom. So effective nuclear charge here, greater the magnitude of effective nuclear charge, right, more tendency to pull shared electron pair toward it, right? So whose tendency will be to pull the shared electron pair toward it, will tendency of that atom to pull the shared electron pair toward it if it is smaller in size and if the magnitude of the nuclear charge is very high, right students? These are the factors which affect the electronegativity. Now one more factor is there is a type of the hybridization. Now when we go through the unit 4, we will come to know that what is hybridization. But general, if we have got the hybridization sp, right, we are considering here sp3, sp2 and sp. So among them sp hybridized atom will have stronger tendency to pull the shared electron pair toward it, and sp3 will have the least tendency to pull the shared electron pair toward it. So that means that the sp hybridized atom or the element will have stronger tendency to pull the shared electron pair toward it among these three, sp3, sp2 and sp. This we will discuss in detail in our organic chemistry also, as well as in the unit 4, right students? Now students, we will discuss the variation of electronegativity across the period and down the group. Now students, if now you can just easily tell that what happens when you move across the period related to the size or the nuclear charge, right? Yes, you know that the on moving across the period there is in decrease in the size of an atom, right, and increase in the effective nuclear charge, right, as we move from left to right across a period, except the noble gases, right? So what happens, there is a decrease in the atomic size and there is an increase in the effective nuclear charge. That means there will be the tendency to attract the shared pair of electron is going to increase from group 1 to group 17. So that means the electronegativity is going to increase as we move across the period. So when we move across the period, electronegativity increases from group 1 to group 17. And we know that in a periodic table, the most electronegative elements belongs to group 17, and that is the halogen, and the element is fluorine, right? Now students, when we move down the group, now second is when we move down the group, so that time what happens? So you know that when we move down the group, there is increase in the size of the atom and there is decrease in the effective nuclear charge, right? So here the electronegativity decreases down the group. right? So when we move across the period, electronegativity increases, and when we move down the group, the electronegativity decreases. Now students, what is the application of the electronegativity? That means that if we know about the electronegativity, what we can predict of an element. The first is that if we know the electronegativity of the two elements, we can predict that which one has got the more metallic character and which one has got the non-metallic character or the metallic character. The element which will have the greater value of electronegativity will definitely be a non-metal. It will show the non-metallic properties. Whereas the elements with the higher electronegativity, so lower value of electronegativity, will show the metallic character. Right? So by knowing the value of electronegativity of the two elements, we can compare their metallic property as well as their non-metallic property. The element which will have the lower value of electronegativity will show the metallic character to greater extent, or will be acting as a metal, right? And the one which will have the greater value of the electronegativity will show as, or will behave as a non-metal. Right students, so what I want to tell here is that the electronegativity help us to predict the nature of the element, or it can help us to predict the metallic and the non-metallic character. So that comes the application of electronegativity. First, it helps to predict the metallic and non-metallic properties, right? So, if the electronegativity of element A is greater than element B, in that case, it will show more, or will be a non-metal, or it will have the non-metallic character in greater magnitude, right? And if here Xb is having the lower value of electronegativity, so it will be behaving as a metal, right? Second application is to determine the polarity of the bond. Right? The polarity of the bond, that is difference in the electronegativity. If greater will be the difference in the electronegativity between the two atoms in a bond, more polar will be the compound. Right? That is, this is AB and let it be, this bond is AC. Now, if the difference in electronegativity of this bond is more, right, AB, showing the difference in electronegativity between bond AB and bond AC, right, that time this is going to be more polar molecule and this will be less polar molecule. And second is that if there is no electronegativity difference between the two atoms, then it is a non-polar molecule. For example, if it is, there is no electronegativity difference between the two, in that case it is a non-polar molecule. Now students, polar means the difference that will occur due to the shift in the electron charge, due to shifting of the shared electron pair to one of the atom, right? So polarity always results due to the electronegativity difference. As a result, the electron cloud of the shared pair will be more tilted toward one of the atom, and hence there will be a difference in the charge distribution. Right students? So these are the two main applications of the electronegativity.